So I'll set it up first.
All right.
And gallery.
And then how do you open the chat?
I will oh, thank you for the reminder, because I always forget.
Cool. Yeah. I remember there was always an issue with that every time somebody was hosting, and then I'm just
Chat.
somebody always
Okay.
breaks up the chat.
So right now it's recording, and
Okay.
I made you host. Okay. Co-host and enable waiting room. Admit all.
So everybody can just join, right? I don't have to
Yep.
let people in.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
And it's recording.
Perfect.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Woo! All right. All right. I'll see you later, Sabi.
Cool. So I'm just co-host, and and then at the end,
Yeah.
what do I do?
Yeah,
Do I just hit leave?
I'm going on a WhatsApp one-on-one right now. So I'll just come back after. All right. Hello, everyone.
Right.
Bye, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Damn, I guess no other speakers right now. All right. Maybe wait another 30 seconds or something, another minute. So what is this? Non-duality. Not two, no separation. There is no person. All the concepts around it, but it has nothing to do with the reality of their energetically being no one. But what's being said is it's already the case. If there's a feeling of contraction of being here, that's it. There's a feeling of this is not it, that's it. Whatever arises is it. It's everything. It's all of it. There's no boundaries. There's no border. There's no edges. These words are just coming out from nothing. And that's how it is there. There's no one behind the words. This is not coming from anywhere. No one made a choice to come to the Zoom meeting. Apparently there was a choice made, button was pressed, but there's no one in charge of that. It's just what's happening. There's nothing behind it. When there's a feeling of being here, center and I, it feels like this is moving, like through time, linear. Like A, B, C. That's the dream. That's not happening. This is all of it. If there's a thought about the past, that's this. Thought about the future, that's this. There is no future, there is no past. No real future, no real past. What's longed for, truly longed for, is what's happening. That seems to be covered up by an energy that says it's not it. It's just that simple. But describing it doesn't help. It doesn't help. But there's an energy that says this is not it. A sharp, sometimes like clawing, needy, wanting to know energy. And that covers this, like completely. But that's also it. That's wholeness pretending that it's not it. There's nothing that's not it. Nothing's out of place. It's truly perfection, but not perfection in the way the person sees it as. It's perfect that it can't be any other way. Every speck of dirt, every word, every breath, it's it. The energy of me is just the what's next energy, but this is not it energy. A needing to know energy, the knower, owning energy. It owns everything. It's desperately trying to find something. It doesn't know what it's trying to look for. It's just seeking, seeking, seeking. That's all it does. It's a seeking energy. It will never find what it wants. As soon as it gets what it wants, it's on to the next. Or it wants to hold on to it. Or it's afraid of losing it. Nothing can be had. That's the struggle, I feel like, with the energy of the person. It's trying to desperately own, desperately have something. But this is empty. You can't have emptiness. That's what seems to be the struggle. Trying to find something real in this. And when this is saying this, it wants to objectify it, like this. Wants to grab it. What's this? This is it. And if you know this is it, that's not this. That's also a seeming hiding. It covers it up. Knowing completely covers this up. Seeming. Knowing, grasping, owning. But that's it too. Nothing's wrong. Nothing was ever wrong. Nothing's out of place. The energy of me says, I have to get my life right. I need to get my life in order and then I will be okay. Me's never okay. There's always something wrong. It's always working, trying to figure out, trying to understand what's being said. Grasping, 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 grasping. This is not it. This is not it. This is not it. What's next? What's next? What's next? It doesn't stop. Just its own little circle, own little momentum. There's no one doing it. No one's behind that. That's all it is. The person, the seeker, that me, that energy, that owning, claiming. It's just one little mechanism on its own. No one's doing it. And when that seemingly comes to an end, no one wakes up. The dream is the dreamer's own dream. And what's left is this. There is no person, there is no me. There's a lot of, all speakers, including me, everybody says the me falls away. And that's like, it's misleading. It's like now there's a person, someone that feels like a person is waiting for the me to fall away. The me doesn't actually fall away. When it seemingly goes, what's seen is that it never was. There was never a person. There was never real time where things happen. Nothing's happening. And that's not getting something. There might be a resonance to this, but that's not getting it. When that owning, knowing, seeking energy ends, it's just revealed or obvious that this was always it. There was never anything else. There was never any need, real need for anything to happen. It's just a dream. Nothing can be held on to. Nothing can be had. That's pretty much what's being said. The me's dream is a dream of owning and having. And it doesn't actually have anything. It can't actually have anything. It's just knowing. It's just knowing. It just knows the owning of its car. It knows that it has a car. It knows that it has a house. It actually doesn't have anything. It's just all knowing. Just knowing. And it feels like knowing is going to be the answer to its problem. What it can't see is the problem itself. Me is the problem. But the paradox is it's really not a problem because me is also it. That's why it's just so funny. If anything, it can be said, the problem for me is that there actually is no problem. Even a seeming problem is not a problem. But when it's put in the context of my life, when there's an energy of this is going somewhere, it just automatically feels like something has to happen. Me is the real making. That energy is the real making of everything. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but anybody has a question, feel free to ask. And I don't know if there's a knower there, if there's a sense of I'm sitting on a chair or I turned on the Zoom, it must feel that this knows what it's talking about because that's how that functions, through knowing. Honestly, I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. It's just, if these words are just coming from nothing. In a way, it could be said, these words are coming from, it's like a reflection of after something seemingly stopped and something was revealed, and that's where these words are coming from. I don't know how else to say it. But it's not a knowing. It's just an end of an illusory experience. Me is experience. Me is the subject and everything's the object. That's distance. And it's trying to overcome distance by more experience, by more knowing. It keeps on wanting to add to itself, add to itself, add to itself. Feeling like once it has enough, that it'll be okay. It'll never be okay for me, for that energy. There's nothing in the body, even logically, like how can there be a person with buttons and levers inside the body, making things happen? It's just a grasping energy that takes itself to be a person and calls itself me. And when it arises here, it also arises in everything else in a weird way. Like it's the, I don't know how to explain it. It's just when it fell away, the energy that was here was in everything. And it just, nothing was seen for what it was. This was, that energy made this real, and the energy was in the cup, and it felt like a real cup, like that's all it was. Now it's just emptiness, nothing. It's just, there's no other way to say it. I don't know. It can't be described. How can you describe everything? Nothing. It's impossible. Nothing's behind the eyes.
Hey, Zavi,
What's up, Natalie?
what's
How
up?
you doing?
That was awesome. That was just so beautiful. And
Thank you.
you know, the funny thing is like there's not even anything behind the words. It's like
Yeah,
that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful that there's nothing to get that there's no one that could get anything out of those words. You know, that the words themselves are this. It's just like, I don't know. Love
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's amazing. And these meetings are not to, they're not trying to get rid of me. It's just the sharing, illumination, sharing of friendship, saying that's okay.
Yeah. It's just so enjoyable to look at these boxes with faces and different scenery. It's just so like it's like a relaxation of not trying to figure anything out, you know? And even if there is figuring out, then I don't know what the difference is. Right. Guinevere. No obvious reason. There's no obvious reason for just, does there even need to be, just to be sitting here looking, sitting and looking. Like you were saying, Zavi, the me wants to know, even though it's an illusory me, it's that knowing wants to know why I'm here, what's going on, who's got what to say, how can that get incorporated, does that fit in? And it's like, there's nothing to get and there's no one to get it. So trying to fit it in is obviously frustrating, you know, for a wanting to know, since I mean, what's there to know about everything and nothing? Like you said, it's indescribable. It doesn't, the describing is it.
Yeah. The knower is the dream.
Yeah.
That there's a position where to know from. Knowing can arise, the knowing of,
Oh, sure.
that's where my house is,
Yeah.
this is my car. I mean, knowing 2 + 2 = 4.
It just
But the dream
arises.
is the ownership, the owner of the knowing. That's not happening. It's a complete dream.
I don't even know what that means anymore. I don't. I really don't. That's that. What did you say? Say that again. I wanna hear that again.
I have no idea what it is.
I don't either. It was something, and I'm just like, what does that mean?
Something about, I don't know, the
I don't
knower.
know. The knower. What is that?
There is no knower.
Where
No,
is it?
the,
Yeah, where
no,
is it? Where would it even be?
the owner of the knowing is the dream. I think that's what it was.
Oh, I think that is it. Owner.
The owner of the knowing.
Yeah,
That is
the
coming
owner of
from
the
a position.
knowing.
That's a positional knowing. That is my
Yes,
knowing.
yes.
That's an energetic held knowing. That's the dream.
Yeah. Yeah, because without that knowing, it's scary and it feels like it's a separate something going around terrified. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, you know, when you feel separate and alone, which is kind of you know, just a story, but when that feeling arises, there's like an operating out of fear that just naturally
Yeah.
goes with it, I think.
Yeah. Me tries to protect itself. Me tries to cover up the feeling that it's completely alone by dreaming that there's a we. Says
Yes.
we. I feel this way, and everybody else on the Zoom feels that way, and then it's a dream. There is no everybody.
No, no one's feeling any way.
It's apparent bodies talking, looking, something.
Yeah. And when you hear spiritual teachings like no self, you know, you already, like in this story, you feel there's a feeling of I'm a self, I'm doing all this, there's a controller, I'm it. And then you hear spiritual people, maybe that, you know, comes up and they say there's no self. And then it's like, ooh, I gotta find no self. I'm gonna find no self. And it's like, it's kind of irrelevant if there's a self or a no self. I mean, it's just doing it. I mean, it's just happening. There's nothing, like you said, behind it. It's making it happen. And if there is, that's really just unknowable. So that question of how and why is this? Well, we don't, I mean, what is this? What is this other than what it is? You know, there's, what could we say about where this is? Just whatever seems to be happening, and it's what is happening, however it's happening, you know, feeling like I got to figure this out, or feeling like, oh, there's nothing to figure out. It's really just the same. It's the same thing. Yeah.
There's a question
feels
in the chat. Hi Zavi, can you tell again your me story, how you realized that there's no me, etc. My bad, I thought I muted myself. So that's the funny part, how you realize that there's no me. It's not a realization. It doesn't, a better word is obvious. And if I tell a story, it would make it seem like this was a part of a story in a linear where something happened. But apparently in the story of Zabi, there's just a lot of drinking, OCD, partying, and it cut it short when it was like, what the fuck, what is all this? Why am I suffering? And somehow some non-duality videos popped up, and yeah. And there was no realization. Seemingly that energy of knowing and owning just gave up. It's the end of something, so nothing got realized. No one realizes there's no me. I mean, in the story, you can say that when that energy was there, that energy of Zabi, he thought, oh, there's no me. Oh my God. Yeah, there's like realizations like that, but that's a part of the dream. That's still a part of the dream. And then in the end, just no one knows. There's just no one. There's not a me or a no me. It's just obvious that there isn't. There never was. There is no story. This is not coming from anywhere. It's over already. I used to hate it when I used to hear speakers say that you can't realize it, that they didn't get it, or that there's like, or not trying to tell their story. You used to be like, what do you mean? I don't know. The story's not important. It doesn't lead to this. Seeking doesn't lead to this. Because it's already. What can that energy do? What can you do to make this what it is already? But the way that mechanism just survives, it just feeds off of knowing. They can't hear what's being said. If there's a resonance, that's not you. saying the me just makes it objective. What that energy would do is objectify it and make it into a real thing that has to end. They can't hear that it doesn't end. It's seen that it never was. It never was. There is no person right now. There's no one in that body. There's no one looking out of the eyes. And it's not an achievement. It's not a gaining. The special one is that energy of me. That's special. It's the energy of being special. Or having and owning. It's a rich man, I think Tony says. He's a rich man. This is a loss, if anything. But in that seeming loss, it seemed that nothing was lost because nothing was ever had. So there could be sadness when this is heard. There could be terror, anything could rise, there could be laughing. There's no rules to this.
Hey, Zabi.
Hey, what's up, Harvey?
Hey, just a question. In your, we'll call it regular life as Zabi, and with like family and everything, was there any noticing of anything that changed in terms of the reaction of others to you or like your daily life?
I mean, the only thing I could probably say is relaxation.
Mhm.
There was a strong energy of, like, let's say being around my parents. It was like, it just a strong energy of this is not okay. And like, it was embodied. So it was like an embodied feeling of, I'm a fuck up, this and that. Let me get out the room. I can't even, like, it was just this energy of self-consciousness. I don't know what to say, but that's just not there. So it's just a relaxation. It's an easiness.
Did you, I mean, a lot of times in a sort of a quote unquote conventional way, when you go to visit your parents, no matter when you do it, they're still telling you to, stand up straight and why don't you do this and do that? That's kind of a normal thing. Did those kind of bonding patterns still show up, like when you were with them, or was it just like, it just is, they're saying whatever they're saying and there's a feeling of whatever is being felt, but it doesn't, it's like it's a relaxation in the sense that it's all okay no matter what?
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, it's exactly how it was before, but just without an energy of this happening to me. They're saying, if there's, let's say, hey, stand up straight, why are you doing that? There would be an energy like, oh, they always say that to me, and why, and like, in the story, it seemed like slowly that sharp, I don't know what else to call it, that intense energy of why they say that, this, that, like, it just melted away. It seemed like it took apparent time in the story for it. It feels like the body had a lot of neurotic tendencies, and it seemed like it didn't go away all at once. It slowly just started, the knots were being untangled, but no one's doing that. It's just what seemed to happen on its own. And when there's an effort, Zabi in the story tried to get rid of those knots. And that effort that just made it worse. So it was like a seeming giving up that no one could do.
Right. Yeah, by the way, your bandwidth will drop down quite a bit.
Oh,
It's okay. It's kind of okay, better now. It dropped down to really low and you froze for a while. But anyway, so it kind of sounds like things were still, things were occurring or seemed to occur, but that the commentary or the stories about it, like why is it happening or why are they doing that, wasn't there.
Yeah, a lot of it seemed to fall away, but even if something like that does come up, it could come up, but there's just no owning of it. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It used to be, let's say, an issue. For me, everything is a problem. I have to work on it.
Right. So it's kind of like the owning, yeah, like you said, the owning of it, like it's happening to me is gone, or is, well, I don't want to say dissipates, but it's just not there, kind of. So it's just whatever is occurring is whatever is occurring, and that's it, without any further meaning.
Yeah. And no one knows that too. It's like we're speaking about it now, but it's like, let's say in quote unquote daily life, there's not like a recognition that, oh, this stuff doesn't happen anymore. You know, it's just not there.
Yeah.
Like a toothache. Like you had a toothache a few years ago, it affected everything. Did you wake up this morning like, oh, I'm so happy I don't have that toothache? It's not a freedom that carries along. Like there could be a recognition when it first, like, well, let's say when it first stops happening, they can be like, wow, like that's kind of cool. And then like a realization, and then it's just over. And there's no continuing of that. Oh, this is not happening, so I'm very happy that it's not happening, and this is like none of that happens. It's just not happening. So it's not important. It doesn't matter.
It's kind of like everything is complete. It's like a completion. It's like it's like everything is just complete, and then there's just whatever's next. If you could use the word next. So it doesn't carry over. So when the toothache's over, the toothache's over, period. There's no story about why did I have it for a week, or it's going to happen again. It just was what it was until it wasn't.
Yeah. And that's what also seemingly ended, which is the sense of next, that something else will happen. Like there can be a thought like, oh, 2 hours, I gotta go pick up my friend. But that's it. There's no energy of, that energy made it real. Like there's gonna be a what's next, and there's movement. That energy of me is the energy of like, it makes it seem like this is going somewhere. And when that's not there, it's obviously this is not going anywhere.
Right.
I mean, these are just words, but yeah. It's just the whole energetic dropping of that mechanism.
Yeah.
Me lives in something else, so they'll be sitting in a room and there's all this other stuff happening. That's a dream. Like, it's a dream.
It was interesting that you described the dream as the knowing or the owner. I sometimes would use the word mirage. Either way, it doesn't matter, but it's almost like it appears, it seems like it's there, it feels like it's there, but like a mirage, it's not there.
Yeah, like a mirage, but a mirage that's energetically owned. That's what makes it real. Because let's say if a mirage can just show up and it'll just be nothing. It's whatever. But the real making of it's that owning, the energy.
Yeah. Good point. Very good point.
This doesn't have to look a certain way. There's a lot of energy here in the story of trying to get its life right, put it in order in the right boxes. Yeah. This is not what me wants, because all of that whole construct of having your life in order and this happens and I want it to look this way, that just goes. That's not what the person wants. It is absolute freedom, but it's for no one.
Yeah. I think like when a lot, as you said before, when a lot of teachings, or Natalie said this, when a lot of teachings talk about the me, it's almost like there's a feeling, I think, that, well, I have to deconstruct the me, or people get into deconstructing it through teachings, and that in a way sort of reinforces that there is a me to get rid of. And so it almost creates a feeling of, well, I better do, which is the me, better do something about it. And it's like a dog chasing its tail, because the more you try, the more that dream, it just reinforces that sense of a real me, which is not real.
Yeah.
So
It
anyway,
says it wants to end itself, but
yeah,
it doesn't.
yeah. Well, thank you. You have a bunch of chats. I guess people are waiting.
Oh, okay. I gotta flip my phone around real quick to read it. So did your family and friends notice some changes? Yeah, I got some comments of just people saying you're more relaxed. That's about it. And it just doesn't matter. This is more about that it doesn't matter. When there's a seeking energy here, it really wanted to know what the changes would be. It really thought the changes would matter. The freedom is that it just doesn't matter. Hi, hearing you saying no one knows that as an idea in the mind, it automatically trying to pretend not knowing what's happening. It feels it's a very bad idea. Oh yeah, that's yeah. The person can do nothing but try to apply the message, and it's just there's nothing right or wrong with it. It just it hears it and it tries to say there's no one or nothing's happening, or that no one knows that. It's a circle. It causes a lot of suffering. Yeah, it does. Me is its own suffering. It's its own. It's trying to escape that suffering by doing more of what it hates. It's only real to itself. It has no reality outside of itself. I don't see any me's. There's nothing on offer here. In a sense, that's compassion. That's true compassion. Teachings, in a sense, this is a story, but feed that energy. That one, that suffering is just perpetuating it. Here gets nothing. That's the true compassion, the illumination. That nothing's needed. Nothing's out of place. Nothing's happening to you. That's the dream that is happening to you. It's an appearance. Things seemingly happen, but it's not happening to you. It's just the immediacy of what is. Immediacy of these words, movement, sound, colors. And you can't, then when me hears that, me wants to grab it. Colors, sounds. What about it? That's what hides. Yeah, this is just shedding light on it. This doesn't help. Nothing helps because it's already the case. There is no person already. There's no non-dual way of living, non-duality way of life. That's just a dream. It just leaves everything as it is. No need. Everything is as it is already, isn't it? We can talk about the past. That doesn't make it real. It apparently happened. But we can talk about the start of this meeting. But that's just this appearing as these words. It's just spaciousness. It's not that things are happening in emptiness. This is nothing. It's not that there's a nothingness and things come out of it. This is nothing. There's no way to conceive of that. There's no knowing. I don't know that. I don't wake up. This is nothing. It's not like that. These are just the words that come out in an attempt, a failed attempt to describe it. You can't describe it. How can you describe everything? The word everything is everything. Me wants to hear something, put it in a box, lock it, and run away. Oh, I got something. Can't get it. I remember I used to call it the hungry monster. I try to add. Doesn't get enough. It's like trying to fill a bag with a hole in the bottom.
Hey, that made me think of this. Listen, when there's a feeling, it, but
Your
there
voice
was
is
never
cutting out.
anything lost. Oh, darn it. Okay.
But you're
I don't
good
have a
now.
lot of good signal here.
But you're good now.
Oh,
I can
good.
hear you now.
I was just saying, okay. I was just saying, when that feeling comes up, like, oh, something's lost, something isn't quite right, which is just the knowing, then it's like there's a natural movement to find what is lost.
Yeah.
So it's just like you said, that circular, just around and around, looking, and missing all the while that this is everything. This is perfection. Nothing needed. Even if it feels like something's needed, that's just also what is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's disappearing as that. When there's a feeling of loss, a feeling of separation, that energy, it's just natural. It wants to find what it lost.
Yeah.
It makes sense. There's
Yeah.
nothing,
It's like effortlessly
innocent.
arising. Yeah, it's just so effortless. Just yeah.
It's like in the story of Zabi, all the drinking, it was just innocence, trying to get back home. There was a strong longing for freedom, for home. All that fucked upness, neuroticness was so innocent. It was innocent. Trying to go home, which it was already. It was all this.
Totally.
No one was behind it.
Yeah. No one got it wrong, because it's impossible. No one could get it right. It's just as it is. And that feeling of, oh God, it's so hard. Oh, that was just happening. That wasn't anyone, there was no one, nothing behind that. It was just this. And when everything is just, there are no things equal, just everything is equal. There's like there's no specialness, but it's so crazy because sometimes it just feels so special, you know, in the ordinariness of everything that's appearing.
Ordinary is the extraordinary.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
The longing is just for the end of seeking, and seeking doesn't bring that about. Seeking will never bring about the end of seeking. It's impossible. Impossible. That's all that's being illuminated, pretty much.
Yeah. Like there's not a person in there seeking. It's just seeking, you know. And then all of a sudden, maybe seeking just kind of doesn't come up anymore. Yeah, I kind of still want to go out and seek out a nice cold drink on a hot day. You know, it's just a different kind of energy.
Yeah.
But it's still
It's just
the same. It's still this. It's still just what
now your
seems
voice
to
is
happen,
cracking out more.
guys. Yeah, it's so natural, isn't it? Like the naturalness of
You're breaking up,
thirsty, let's
Natalie.
get a drink. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna get going. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye. Have a good one. Seeking is just seeking. It's wholeness seeking. There's no one behind it. There's no intention. Even the sense of intention, there's no intention to that intention. It's just what's happening. Nothing needs to be said. But in these meetings, this is a story, but it does seem like just an energy that arises. It's just nice to talk about nothing. The end of being special.
Maybe someone has their Alder has her hand up. Maybe you
Oh,
can.
hi, sorry, thank you. Hi, Elder.
Hello, Sabi.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good. Nice to be here.
Yeah, talk to me.
I just like to say it's been a lot of confusion listening to your talk,
Yeah.
and it is really confused,
Yeah,
and it's how it feels.
yeah. I know what you mean. When I was listening to the message, when that energy was there, there was a lot of confusion. But confusion is it. There's nothing wrong with it. That's just what's arising. That's all that's being said.
Yeah. Yeah. And do I just leave it to last as long as it lasts, the confusion?
There's no one there to leave it or not to leave it. It's just what's happening. What's just being illuminated is that energy that says, should I do this or should I do that? That's the illusion. There is no I that actually does that or has a choice. It's just what seemingly happens. That can be the frustrating bit, that when there's, I understand there's, an experience of something's there and that there's a choice. But what's being said here is that that's an illusion. And I know it doesn't help. It's just shining light on something. Apparently.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I remember seeing you in one of Jim's meetings, in one of his Zooms. The experience of distance is just uncomfortable. That energy of here and there is just uncomfortable. That's how I remember it as. They're trying to overcome that distance. Can't be overcome because there is no distance. No real distance. That's why this message is just so impossible. There's a parent here and there, apparently, and you is just not real. What are you going to do with that information? And I don't know that. It's just impossible. It's the seeming end of something that wasn't happening. It's just crazy. And the point is that the mind is increasingly confused by this talks, but it still comes to the talk. Yeah, it seems like it's just the resonance. It's just resonance. That energy of seeking that, what you call the mind. I don't really know what a mind is, but yeah, those thoughts. There's just confusion happening. You don't want this, but there could be a relaxation, a resonance, a yes, an unconceived yes behind that confusion. That's how it was here. Yes, me. Fuck yes. Yeah. Hell yeah. Love it. Yes, like an undeniable yes. It's never known. It's never known. It's just a yes. Never known. Can't be known.
An uncompromising yes.
Uncompromising yes. Ah, In the story, the neurotic habits or patterns seem to be a problem because there is an energy saying that it shouldn't be there or that it should be different. It wasn't a problem. It's not a problem. Hi, Nikki. Good morning, Joe. Just woke up. This can't be had. This can't be known. Wanting to know can seemingly run out of steam. And then it's obvious. It's obvious nothing was ever wrong. Nothing is wrong. It's just innocence. All of it. Talking to apparent people is increasingly difficult. Naps are more plentiful. Problems seem to continue but are taken less serious. Nice. Even problems are not a problem. They're only a problem for that energy, for me. Problems can arise. This doesn't look a certain way. Nothing is had here. Nothing's coming from knowing. It's not a way of life. Something changes. Just the energy of this is happening to me. It's just not there. The holding, the grasp. I don't know how to take in your words. There's no need. Doesn't matter. What's being said just doesn't matter. This is already, it's already the case. Nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to be known, understood, gotten. It's freedom. Just this. So simple. Ordinary. But that energy of knowing feeds on knowing. Knowing is just the need to know. It's an endless need. The first person perspective seems to arise. I'm not sure what that means. My bad. Seeing from the eyes. And nothing seeing. Nothing seeing from the eyes. When there's a contractedness of the feeling of a here-ness, it seems like an energy of I'm seeing. That's not happening. It's just an illusory energy that clings. It's a grasping, a holding. You can't say where seeing is actually coming from. Like where seeing is happening. I mean, the energy of me will be like, well, it's obviously happening here. There's no knowing of where seeing is happening. It's just seeing. Like, the only dream is the person. The person just completely not real. This is just apparently what's happening. Words, colors, sounds, breathing, seeing. The person just completely unreal. We talk about the me a lot. There just isn't. Just isn't. Already. It's impossible to conceive that this is not like a linear happening in time. You can't conceive that this is all there is. You can't get it. You can't get it. I don't get it. No one gets it. It's impossible to conceive that this is not consequential. It's impossible to conceive that there's no one in the body. When that's illuminated, that knowing is just a loop of knowing, a closed loop, knowing, need to know, knowing, need to know. That The energy of knowing can seem to relax, or it could contract more. Yeah. Me plans for tomorrow, not knowing what's going to happen in the next 10 seconds. Even though conceptually you can kind of get like, oh yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 seconds. But the energy is that you do know. It's just the knowing energy, a solid, that's what it seems like. But there's no knowing. It's impossible to, this is another message or chat. It's impossible to conceive that there's no one looking from the eyes and that there's no planning happening here nor in the next second. This doesn't plan what it will say. Yeah, but planning can also seem to arise. It's just that no one's planning. Planning can happen. It's just there's no one behind it. When there's this energy of being here, that planning is owned. I'm planning. And they can just go in neurotic circles about this should happen, this shouldn't happen. Blah, blah, blah. It's just its own, just feeds on each other, the thoughts and that energy. Zabi, do you feel likely to fight someone for no reason? Fight someone for no reason? I don't know why I would fight somebody. In the story of Zabi, I fought plenty of people. But there's I don't know why I would fight somebody. I sound out of control. Awesome. Oh, that's great. Not looking at my word, not. Yeah, I feel it, Joe. This is out of control. No one's in control already. No one's doing anything. This is chaos. Appearing ordered. There's no center. So yeah, it's out of control. Already. There's no inherent need or meaning in anything. That's just the dream of the person. It needs meaning. There is no my life. It's a complete dream. Say it's just life happening. No. This doesn't make sense. When this goes to work, it's not like I talk to my coworkers. This is not happening. This is out of control. It's not like that. Joe said, but that's already obvious that this is just life. But when there's a knowing, owning energy, it calls it my life. That is happening to me. Somehow this appearance, somehow it's happening to me. It doesn't even make sense. It's just an appearance. Thoughts are thoughts, words are words, seeing, laughing, crying, pain. It's all of it. But me says, no, pain shouldn't be there. I shouldn't cry. It has a story about how it should and shouldn't be. Joe said, what if I said, so what if I said it's happening to me? Would you believe it? I could say anything really doesn't matter. Yeah. And there is no person anywhere. So don't, if someone raises their hand like, well, I'm here. Well, that's obviously what seems to be happening. He said I could say anything really doesn't matter. Yeah. But it's not, when the person says it doesn't matter, it's like a sad, like, oh, it doesn't matter. Nothing has meaning. Oh, there's no purpose. It's not like that. It's, this has no meaning, no purpose. Fuck, it's free. It can't be understood. There's no need for anything to change. Even a wanting to change can arise. But there's no need. Nothing solid, nothing can be held on to. What are you gonna hold on to? Beautiful dream. Dreaming itself. True comedy. Yeah. Yeah. Cosmic joke. Cosmic joke. But while that energy's happening, it's not so funny. But yeah.
Hey, Zabby.
Hey.
Zabby? Hey, Nick
Yeah.
here. The video is off.
Oh, hey, Nick.
Hey, man. I had a question.
Yeah.
Like, something came up. For example, let's say you would like a girl, or there's some attraction to someone, let's say. Would there like be would there, A, would that be like sort of a possibility? And B, would there then be sort of a wanting or let's say a desiring energy for being with that person? Could that arise? Like how does that go without a center?
Yeah, so it seems there could be just like a movement or an energy just to go talk to that person, or like, it's just the only thing that's not there is need. Need seems to be gone. It seemed like when that energy was there, it was a strong need, a strong wanting to be liked, wanting to be, I don't know, wanting to be seen. And it really mattered. It was really important. Now it's just the movement goes, okay, can I get your number? Whatever. Like, it's just what's happening. It's just rejected. It's just getting rejected. Nothing has any substance, nothing sticky.
So do you absolutely don't care in a way, like if she gives you the number or not?
No, it'll be cool. Like it could be like, oh, nice, I got it. I can tell my friend, but then it's just over. Nothing carries on.
Yes.
Like when there is an energy of being someone, it can be a story just continuously. Like, oh, look at me, yeah, I did it, yeah, I got it. Oh, I really need to tell my friend. Oh, I really need to tell this person. Oh, then there's just this energy of being special. So it can just arise like, oh, nice, and then it's just over. You know, nothing's held on to. So in a sense, it's exactly the same, but it's just nothing. That illusory experience is just nothing. That energy is gone.
So would you say it's like it's more chill in a way?
Yeah.
Less sticky probably.
Yeah, less sticky, relaxation. But for no one gets that because the experience of you is the experience of sticky. So when that sticky is not there, that's the you and the sticky are the same thing. So there's a relaxation, but the sticky is not there to be like, oh, I'm relaxed, because it's just not there. Like you can't. This is gonna be kind of hard to conceive. Like, I don't know, you might be able to understand it, but if that sticky energy itself is the one that wants the relaxation, and when the relaxation comes about, that sticky is not there, so no one knows that there's relaxation. It's just relaxation. I don't know how else to put it. That's why it can be said for no one. The one that wants to be relaxed is the sticky, knowing, needy energy. That relaxation comes about in the ending of that. The one that knows that it's not relaxed and wants to be relaxed, that knower. The end of that, the relaxation comes about. And you can't do anything to bring that about because that's more movement from that energy. No one's doing it.
Yeah, when I feel into, let's say, animals or so, like it's so natural, you know, like one pigeon, for example, starts to dance around another pigeon for what reason, you know, but it just happens, and the other pigeon likes the pigeon or it doesn't like the pigeon. You know,
Yeah.
it's like so simple.
Yeah. It's simple.
It's so simple. Yeah.
Nothing is like held onto and carried. It's just immediacy, just what's happening. But that's this already. So I remember the story, Zabi was looking for the immediacy, was looking for the ending of what I just described. That, in a sense, keeps it going because this is already it. That's why it's a little misleading to talk about all that stuff, because it feels like that has to happen, or that's when there will be no one whenever that happens. There is no one already. It's just the seeming covering of it by an illusory energy that says, I'm me. That's it.
It's already just the pigeon. Let's
Yeah.
without any center. You could say
Yeah.
that. Just no claim. Okay, thanks, Maestro. I love these meetings with you. Yeah, it's so chill. Like you
Oh
say,
yeah.
yeah, you say just yeah. For me, you always say the right things. Yeah, I don't know, but it really resonates. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks, Nick.
Ciao, brother.
Joe said, the questions seem to stop, that's for sure, even though they can arise. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can. It can seem like when the questions slow down, like it can just, even when it arises, there's just no need to ask it. It's just what's arising. Or there can be an energy, a need to ask it. It doesn't matter either. And it's not that there's someone here that just doesn't care. It's really not like that. It's trying to talk about something that really can't be spoken about because it's the ending of something. And when there's an experience of I am here happening, it can't conceive of the end of itself. It will try, but it can't. So this is really about the ending of what you would call my life. Why would you want that? Why would the person want the end of its life? It just thinks it's going to get something from this meeting. It'll understand something, it'll be enlightened. Not saying everybody here, but just that's what seems to happen most of the time. There could be just sitting here because the energy feels nice. There's just the longing for this to come home. The energy of the person absolutely does not want this. It's unwantable because it's already. How can you want what is already? There's no space or distance to reach for it or grab it. It's already. Even the grabbing for it, the illusory grasping for it, that's the case. That's already. That's what's happening. We're just telling each other stories. Nothing's actually happening. Nothing's wrong with stories. Nothing's wrong with feeling like a person. Nothing's wrong with anything. Nothing's right or wrong. The person doesn't have thoughts. It owns the thought. A thought arises and it's just a clinging energy that makes it seem like the person is thinking. That energy doesn't think, it owns the thoughts. Okay, Joe said, when this was seeking relationships, it felt very, very needy. It needed to be with a specific person. Now that whole energy has dropped, it's obvious that that's all that it was. This never needed that. Exactly. Thoughts arise naturally as everything else. Yeah, exactly. Might have to end this in like 3 minutes. Emerson, do I just click leave? Would it be okay, or what do I do? If you're listening. Joe said, even with the information or so-called knowledge was presented as if it was my knowledge, that it needed some sort of special recognition, that it knew it. Yeah, me's like the owner of that knowledge, calls it my knowledge. It's not the words that make it real. It's not the saying of this is mine that makes it real. It's the energy that claims it and just assumes a here-ness. That energy assumes that there's a here. And when there's a here, there's a there. It's just energy. Even when that's there, there's no real here and there. There never is a real here and there, even when it's felt to be. It's just energy.
Hi, Sabi.
Hey,
Just
how you doing?
hi, I'm good. Thank you. It's a really good meeting. It's this energy is like it's just going in and out. No, like it's not even going in and out, but it's like it's felt here. Like I feel completely stoned from this meeting. I don't know. Like the brain has just been chopped off or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
It's like there's such an agitation at the same time. There's just this really, really stillness. And it's just really difficult to in lack of better words, sit in that position somehow. Like, yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just I don't know what I'm saying. Just
I know it's like
I feel completely fucked somehow. Just
yeah. Yeah, the person is just fucked.
yeah.
It's like, I know there could be two energies, like a relaxation, an energy of like, yes, and at the same time, that agitation and that clinginess can be happening at the same time. That's what
It's
seemed to
like
happen.
it's very conflicting. Like
Yeah.
Like it's very so itchy in the system somehow. I don't know how to express. There's no word.
Yeah.
It's like you want to try and burst out of it, and it cannot. It's just I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. It's just
I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. It's recognized that is also it. It's just very contracted and quiet at the same time. It's very weird. It's yeah.
That's what happened here too. It seemed to be two things happening at the same time. That's what, yeah. It was uncomfortable, but it's okay. It's not happening to you.
No, it's not really happening at all, actually. But it's like it's really strange. It's like why is something that is not happening seemingly happening? It's
Oh, why?
Well, thank you. Anyway, it's a real good meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, there's never an answer. Just the questioner dies. Yeah. The wanting to know why just ends. Freedom. It always was the case. It is the case now. All right, guys, I gotta go. I have a haircut appointment. Sorry. And I don't know how to do the breakout room or none of that stuff. He made me the host, but I don't think he's listening right now. And yeah, so the only thing I can do is click leave. Sorry, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, can you see me?
Hold on. Let's see.
Oh.
I'm on the wrong thing.
I don't see me
Yeah.
there.
Hello.
Hello, I don't see myself on the bus.
On the what?
Here, I don't see myself.
Oh, I don't. Sometimes there's a button like hide self view or something, but I don't know if you go to more. Are you on a phone or a computer?
Oh, wow, I found something. I'm new here. I don't really know. This is my name.
Jade.
Yeah.
So you used a different name?
I didn't know how to change my name, and I still don't see me there on the bar. I can't see myself.
I don't know. There's a. Are you on a computer or a phone?
Laptop.
Laptop. There's like an option to hide self view or not. So
Oh,
if you
I didn't click on anything to hide.
if you right click a window or right click my window, maybe there's a hide self view.